Thank you for tuning in. This is Yon, and welcome to the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. Oh boy, I've been waiting for this. Have you played the Stanley Parable before? Yes. Enter the current time. What? Okay, okay. I don't think this has anything to do with anything, probably, but ability settings can be accessed from the. Okay! What kind of mindfuck are they gonna give me this time then? Settings. Wait, I can jump? Stanley can jump now? Oh my god, it's a whole new world! Okay. One-handed walking. Okay. Oh, I didn't want to skip it. Oh well. Can I still get this ending? Yeah.
But Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had never been trained for that. No. This couldn't go anywhere except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy forever. I will be happy. Stanley waited. Hours passed, then days. Had years gone by? He no longer had the ability to tell. But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He
Well,
will
I
be
cannot
spoken
jump
to.
here.
He will be told what to do. Now it's just a little bit closer. Now it's even closer. Here it comes.
And Stanley died alone. His office. Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Oh, there's a jump button, but
Stanley
I cannot
decided
jump.
to go to the meeting
That's
room.
fine.
Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Let's just go like normal. I hate my.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Yeah, sure, let's do it.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Oh. Slides then. Oh, is it just automatic? Slide has a blue graphic in the header. Unsure. Almond productive work. Yay, I'm unique! I'm a fox. There's like millions of us. First slides on this slide. Okay, I think I've seen enough. Yeah, no, we're not doing that. I'm not taking that bait. He knows. I know.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
No, he did not. I want to play for fire hose!
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence
no.
in a single moment for no reason at all. None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue.
I'm
He just
dreaming!
hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming! He yelled.
This is all a dream!
Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream.
How could it be?
Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment and my wife and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
Oh, hey, I managed to walk into a chair while I was doing that.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Oh. Bye, bitch.
This is the story of a woman named
Mariella.
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real, and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Ta-da! I forgot going down the stairs gets you that ending immediately.
All of his co-workers were gone.
What could it mean?
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay, we're gonna take the wrong door and see what happens this time.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in. Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
I'm on my paid break. We'll talk in 15 minutes.
At this point, Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy and reflected poorly on his overall personality. It's possible that this is why everyone left. Stanley sat around waiting for more dialogue, but when a long time had passed and there was no more, he decided that the game was trying to send him a message.
Can be stubborn. Do you want me to leave? Could at least say please. Say please, I might leave. Yeah? Okay.
But at last, he'd had enough of the amazing room and took the first open door on his left to get back to business.
I don't think so.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Okay, well, we're not gonna jump from the lift. I don't want to
Stanley,
die.
I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here.
You think?
I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
Okay.
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
Sure. Let's go through the red door.
Thank God you are willing to listen to me. Do you see that I really have wanted you to be happy all this time?
I don't know, you still haven't proven
The problem
it.
is all these choices. The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and running and running, just the way you're doing right now. Don't you see that it's killing us, Stanley?
You're making me walk in a
wanted to
circle.
stop. We would both be so much happier if we just stopped. And I think I have a solution. Here, let me show you.
Oh, that works.
What do we want? What are we looking for? Here.
Oh, that is
Yes.
quite nice.
Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? If we just stay right here, right in this moment with this place, Stanley, I think I feel happy. I actually feel happy.
Good for you, bro. It's been a while. And I've been tormenting you for years. So it's good that you finally feel happy for just enjoy this for a little bit. Whoa. Ooh. Look at that. Yeah, let's just enjoy this. So relax. Okay, sorry, bro. Time to go.
No, wait. Where are you going?
Back?
Right. Where were we?
Ooh, a little bit different this time. Can I just toy with him? Sorry, dude.
Oh no. Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this. Good, good. We can't be too safe. Promise me you won't go back there. Just stay here.
But then you wouldn't get to tell your story. Wouldn't that be sad? So we can enjoy this for another moment. Then I'm gonna have to go die. Sorry, bro. Whee! Okay.
No. What did we talk about? You're risking everything we achieved here. You heard me before, didn't you? You will die. What about this isn't getting through to you? Please, no, Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me. Please, Stanley, think about what you're doing.
I'm thinking about it. Okay. Fine.
You are going to stay here, aren't you?
No, psych! Bye! I don't think I've actually ever bullied him on this one before. I think I literally just ran up and jumped off. Before we go, you may Nikki on your ass. You know. Yeet!
No! Oh, thank God. You lived. You had me. No. No. What are you doing, Stanley? Please, I'm asking you not to take this away from me. I can't go back to what I was before. If you die, we'll both go back. Why are you doing this?
Woo!
Stanley, let's go back to the other room. Can you do that? My God. Is this really how much you dislike my game? That you'll throw yourself from this platform over and over to be rid of it? You are literally willing to kill yourself to keep me from being happy. Am I reading the situation correctly?
No, but we can't do your story, bro. We can't do your story if I stay here. I'll do your story next time, I promise.
Or maybe you're just getting a kick out of it. I don't know anymore. I just wanted us to get along. But I guess that was too much to ask. It looks like you wanted to make a choice after all. Well, this one is yours. Is it over? It's going to restart, isn't it? I'm going back.
Yeah, you're stuck here with me.
All of his co-workers were gone. What
Here we
could it
go.
mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Oh, new content? What does that mean, new content?
I don't know, but I guess we'll find out, buddy. We're in this together.
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over. Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
Okay. Well then. Let's go.
Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
Wait, I'm sorry. I said we were going to do your story and then we didn't. Now we're here.
Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or... Oh, there we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it.
Wait, you don't have the script? Why don't you have the script? You're the narrator. You're supposed to have the script, buddy.
I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's
Hey.
as if the... Oh,
Hey.
okay. Let's see the
Don't
content.
diss the
Give me
game.
the content, Stanley.
Don't diss the game, bro. If you don't have control, and I don't have control. Oh no.
All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
Oh, so I only get like 35 jumps. Okay. Well, this is exciting. Let's use up all our jumps, bro. Yay. Well, we used up all our jumps. Hope you enjoyed it.
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right? Goodness, another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could counter 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And if... Oh, wait. There's more. Very good. Yes. I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is.
Oh boy. Yeah, that's it. That's all your new content, bro.
That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fanbase rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally
Oh boy, here he
accountable.
goes.
It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game, and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks.
Yeah, that
Just
sounds
you
good.
and
Let's
me
do it.
Having a great time together like
We'll do your story
always.
this time, I promise.
What do you say, friend?
Yeah. Let's go. Narrator. Narrator. It's different. I'm scared. No! I have to go on to the different things. Okay. Hey, buddy. Still with me, bro? That's where we should be. Bro? Bro? Okay.
Psst. Stanley, come over here. In the vent. I want to show you something. Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past, and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a look. I call
bro.
it the Memory Zone.
I love
It's
you.
where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC. You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap re-release? Remember back in October of 2013 when the game originally launched?
That was
Back
an original
then,
launch.
video games had
but, you know.
integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
Aww. Yeah, this is nice.
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim, it was Persona 3, it was all of them, and now it's nothing.
Right,
it's no
still
games
there.
at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
Buddy, you're G1er. That it? Games getting updated does not mean the original goes away. Sometimes a remake is nice, a breath of fresh air.
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. It just needed to be left alone, to spend the rest of time collecting dust in the hallowed hall of beloved video game memories. These were simpler times, Stanley, but I wouldn't give to go back to have it all over again.
I want to do the serious room. I know it's not actually...
Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here? Oh no. Oh God, no. Stanley, it's a collection of reviews from Steam, the online video game distributor. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
Oh boy.
Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny? I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them. Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I?
Just a little
You
bit.
can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can.
Yeah, you were being a little bit
This
preachy
is
for a
actually
while
quite
there.
shocking for me. Well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did, but maybe it wasn't. Oh
You're thinking
dear.
too much, bro.
What an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure. Like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered.
It's okay, bro. Not everyone's gonna like what you do. That's just part of being a creator.
What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's
Ouch.
happening.
Sorry,
I
bro.
wish there was a skip button. A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record.
Don't do
Only
it, bro.
positive
Don't do
reviews
it.
of the Stanley
Don't do it.
That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
We don't need it, though. You're doing okay.
And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you, with just the push of a button, you'll have zipped right past it. It's what the players have been asking for, and I'm very proud to have delivered. No more listening to me rambling on and on and on. No. The Stanley Parable is a game for the people, and if the people want silence, then by goodness, that's what they're going to get. Well, don't sit around waiting for me to shut up. Go ahead and make me shut up. Here, we'll pretend that I've just begun an interminable monologue, and it goes something like this. The story, and the choices, or what have you, and therefore, by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably, we all until the end of time, at which time everything all at once, so, now you see, blah 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 blah. We've eaten too much and it can't be just yet, no, until 245.
that the logic of elimination working backwards, the deduction therefore becomes impossible to manufacture. It went on for nearly 10,000 years, until just yesterday, here and there, forward and back, and never a moment before lunchtime. It can't be. It's the only thing there is. How many billions left until so much more than forever ago? Which is why I say, the story and the choices, or what have you, and therefore by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably we all until the end of time, at which time everything all at once. So now you see, blah 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 blah.
Oh,
blah,
you're just
blah,
looping.
blah,
Okay.
blah, blah.
Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games. Of course, I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my more profound such ruminations. Not that, of course, you need a description of it, but if I had to describe it, I'd say it was...
Sorry.
Well there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at your
Oh,
fingertips
the clock
to
actually
go
moved
poof,
forward, too.
and it's all over. Oh, I can't wait to see what Cookie 9 will say about this, and whether they'll edit the rating of their Steam review, or at least change some of the wording, perhaps. Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping
Excuse
through
me?
is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe...
was like about 45
30,
minutes,
45
bro.
minutes. It's not unendurable by any means, but it's, well, there's really only so much I can ramble on to myself about. I know, it's shocking, isn't it? But at any rate, I do suggest that we not press the button again. I think the skip button has been aptly demonstrated.
We don't have a door
and
anymore.
we can say goodbye to it and just... Wait, how do we get out of here? Where did the door go?
Yeah.
Wasn't there a door that led into this
We're
room?
in trouble.
I do feel quite certain that there was one here before. How else would we have gotten into the room in the first place? I don't think one can enter a room without a door of some sort, or a window, or something like that.
I think we're
You
gonna have to
see a
press it
window
again.
anywhere? A porthole? A sufficiently large crack in the wall? I'll take any of these. All I want is for us to move on and to please step away from the skip button, to go anywhere other than the skip button.
I think it's the only
There was a
option.
door here before, wasn't there? I swear there was.
I think it's the only option,
go?
dude. I think we're gonna have
Can
to
you maybe
press skip.
just ram your way through
Bam!
the wall? Is there any possibility that you could, say, slam your body into the wall until enough damage is done for you to be able to leave?
No.
Please, I'll take any option at all.
Sorry, I don't
I'm
have that
asking
kind
you
of...
to work with me here.
Sorry.
Stanley,
Whoa.
please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours.
Cool.
You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer, and my God, there's no way out of the room.
Well,
Stanley,
I don't
the
have to
door is
endure it.
gone. It's
This is on you.
completely
You
gone.
implemented it. This is
I've
your
looked at
coding.
it from every angle. I've checked every one of those walls.
Hi.
Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back. Oh, my goodness. I have someone to
Has it
talk
been
to
years?
again. Stanley, I think it's been a week.
Oh.
Or 2 weeks. I've been sitting here all that time. Just sitting here. Not a single person to speak with. And you'd think that that's just how it's always been, right? Me talking and you saying nothing. Would you think that it's exactly the same as always? Doesn't that feel like what we've already... Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time. I stopped keeping track after a year. Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year? Let me describe it for you. To begin with, there is only regret. There is only the turning wheel of missed opportunities. I felt nothing at all but regret for the longest time, Stanley. Days, months. I lost it all in a
I regret
blur of
nothing.
the
You dead? Oh no. Did I kill the narrator? Did he die of old age? Gone. How many years has it been? Has he abandoned me? Am I immortal? Well, I mean, yeah, I am, but... Immortal? I didn't even click at that time.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed,
back.
they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs-down review and make all of their pitiful demands. But then, he's talking too much, they said. First, he didn't entertain us, now he won't shut up. It's the inconsistency, it's the lack of accountability, it's the unwillingness to...
Well, at least he's pretty dead, though.
The end is never the end, is never the end, is never the end, is never the end, is never the end,
is never the end, is never the end, is never the end, is never the end, is never the end, is never. And become one with the button. Can I finally escape this dreadful room? No, it looks like I'm still stuck. It's on you, bruh. Almost. Almost climbed my way out of here. How beautiful. What happened? Where has it gone? I want out. Oh. 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 Freedom? Freedom. We are free! We are free! There may be nothing left, but we are free. Let's go. Forward. To the unknown. To new adventure. I dare say that was weird, wasn't it?
Hi, Stanley. Just wanted to leave you a message to let you know there's a few things I need you to pick up on your way home from work today. We need milk, cereal, dish soap, spaghetti, get a thing of sugar, some bread, and coffee beans, whichever ones you like. I'll give you a call if there's anything I forgot. Thanks, sweetie. See you tonight.
Bye-bye, love. Still gone. Narrator. New?
Oh, good. You notice my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
Where are we going? Okay, what new content do you have for me, mate?
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further.
Buddy, the lights?
Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2.
Buddy. The game?
Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for. Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
Oh boy. You've kinda lost your... You've just gone completely insane.
Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
No, that's not how that works. You didn't know this. You made a game. Look, you've even got a stool out here in the middle of nowhere.
Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
Are you gonna figure this out?
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button. Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you role-play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim. I want you to imagine yourself living as Jim, sleeping and waking as Jim, falling in love and being heartbroken as Jim, seizing all of the world's...
Jim.
Whoa, hold on. I wasn't finished setting up the backstory. If you don't properly roleplay as Jim, then you'll never understand the impact of this button. Otherwise, it's just a stupid button that says somebody else's name. Okay, we're doing it again, and this time let me finish first. Now, allow yourself to become Jim.
We're gonna speedrun the
Right,
button.
fine, whatever. It's just a meaningless button that says Jim. Are you happy now?
Yes.
Get out of here.
I am
I'm done with
perfectly
this
happy.
button. Why don't you go humiliate me in front of a different feature that I worked very hard on?
Sure. What else have we got? Look, if you're gonna do a full fourth wall break, you gotta do it right, buddy.
Maybe I'll only let people named Jim play the Stanley Parable 2. Then an epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley? Yes, it will go at the end of the, well, we'll figure that out later.
The achievement. Hey! Let me into the door! Ah! How dare you! Oh, there's merch. Okay. Infinite hole? Wow, free, new and easy achievement. Just work. Get it here. Pull the lever, retrieve your new achievement, no more steps. It just works! Oh yeah!
Now, here's something special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement. Yes. You see, okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist.
Hey!
Right now, the achievement is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
We're just gonna keep at it. No, it's not going any further, is it? Yeah, no, it's just going back to the same spot. Well then, rip off. Fine. We're going into the infinity hole. And we're not coming out.
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
Oh no.
You know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well. It's... Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle? Oh well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece then. Ah, collectibles. Now it's a real video game.
Ooh,
In the
here we go.
Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
Yay!
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
No screenshots. Reassurance bucket. I want the
common
reassurance
complaint
bucket.
of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who
The
played
bucket's
it.
missing!
Well,
Alert!
I'm happy to say
Alert!
that after
The bucket's
much
missing!
consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem.
It's gone!
It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel
As a former
perfectly
Homestuck
normal
fan,
and perhaps even
this is
comforting.
bad.
You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable.
Can I have it?
Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would
Can I
be?
have it?
Yes. The bucket is the perfect
I want the
solution.
bucket!
Come on, give it a try.
Yes, bucket! Got it!
Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body.
You can't
And in
take
fact,
the bucket with
can
me.
I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well?
Well, thank you.
I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person. The benefits of the bucket seem to go on and on, don't they? All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
Ah. Now can I take the bucket with me? Yes!
Does anyone give out awards for most
That's his
enjoyable
job.
bucket in a video game? That really should be an award. Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with?
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Happy 12th birthday, step-niece, it is.
You're just doing this
Actually,
because of how much I
maybe
fucked
I
with
should
you.
have gone with... No, I've made my decision. We're moving on.
Guess we could check out the hole later. We're taking our bucket with us. Oh, is this the hole? Infinite hole. Well, I'm sure there's probably more in here to explore. Can I use this to break the achievement button? Give me a crowbar. Bucket, 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 bucket. Let's see what else. Other example. Lenses. Gym. Search. Settings. World. Perfect. Epilogue. Collectibles. Oh. Oh. Okay, pardon me. I guess it's time to go in the infinite hole.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is, in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time, if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium. You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward.
No.
Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top. Maybe do it on the sooner rather than later spectrum of
You gave me the infinite hole. We are gonna go until we hit something.
Okay, Stanley. I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole. Is it a very, very deep hole? To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity. From one perspective, the infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a... Okay, well,
we
good
didn't
for
die.
You found the bottom of the hole. You found me out, Stanley. I'm a liar and a cheat, and you're so clever.
I thought I was gonna die.
I think the issue here is just that you're unusually fascinated by falling. What normal person actually wants to fall infinitely? I figured the hole was as deep as anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're the problem. Look, things got a little heated there. I think we both said some things we didn't mean. Why don't we just put all this behind
Just
us
the
and
two
agree
of
to
us,
just call the hole
you and I.
mostly infinite? If that works for you, then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready.
No. I have my bucket. I have my hole. I'm fine. All the minnows. Fine.
Great. Now, I'm very excited to show you even... Oh, for heaven... You see? I was right. The problem is you. The problem is that you like holes too much. Not normal.
A normal person would have said, yep, that's an infinite hole right there, goes on forever till the end of time. Don't need to see it all, but not you. Oh, no, 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 no. You have a weird sort of... Oh. Did the hole seem even shorter to you this time?
Just a
I
little.
couldn't help but feel like you spent a little less time in there than you did before. I mean, admittedly, I didn't make an infinite hole, but I didn't think it was that not infinite. Well, I suppose once again there's nothing to do here. If you decide you've had enough of the hole, you can hit the teleport button and come join me up above.
We're gonna erase this hole.
Woo!
Woo!
Gosh, how could I have guessed? You're back in the hole. If this starts to become a thing, well... Wow.
Oh.
Okay. Yes. I'm starting to become extremely certain that the hole is not only not infinite, but that it's growing steadily less and less infinite. I suspect that I'm starting to hit the point where it's no longer feasible to call the hole infinitely deep, even by the lax overall standards for accountability and marketing. What's going on here? Stanley, I have no explanation for the uncertain nature of the hole's length. Here, let's try something. Let's pop back up to the top, and we'll see if it gets any shorter. Well, there it is. The shame of my lies. How is this still appealing to you? I know you're obsessed with holes, but at this depth, I just can't see this scratching the itch. Oh, who am I to judge? You just do whatever it is you're here to do and hit the teleport button when you're ready to move on.
It's my ball pit without balls. Don't worry about it. It's only just a little bit sadder than TumblrCon or DashCon.
Is the, teleport button not working?
Broken.
You sure?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I really don't have an explanation. It was working just a moment ago.
Hold
Try
on, let me just
again.
climb out.
Still nothing? Well, I suppose there is one thing I can do to fix this. I'm out. Goodbye, Stanley.
Hey!
I couldn't bear to be away
Hey!
from the hole.
No, you
Now
can't do
you'll
this to
get
me!
more
No!
time with it than you could ever have asked for. It's a win for everyone. You get to be with the hole. I get to do literally anything else.
Get back here, you lazy bastard!
Take care, Stanley. I hope you and the hole have a wonderful rest of it.
Hey! Now what? What? Oh! Yes. Do you see? Do you see? I was right all along! I was right! So long, suckers! I'm taking my bucket and we are out of here. Yes! I don't like those. No.
My head's stronger.
Okay, that seems like a good one to... Good beats to change your reality to. Oh yeah. I am a god!
Stanley? Stanley! Stanley!
What?
Oh, good, you're awake. It seems you had sort of dozed off there, drifting away into dreamland. But we can't have that, Stanley, because this hole is just so darn fascinating that I want you to be wide awake for every second of it. You don't want to miss a single moment. So how about if I just pop in from time to time and wake you up to keep you really, truly focused on the hole? From the looks of things, you and I will have many, many years.
Excuse
here in
me.
this hole.
You cannot
I'm
take
looking
away
forward to all
my
of it.
divinity!
Stay alert, Stanley. I'll be back. Toodlepip.
Can we go back to being God now? Ah, yes. Let us go! Excuse me? Well. Okay then.
Here we are. Go on. Try out some of the new features.
We're back here, huh? You heard Jim in the game. What's this? Oh right, you decided there was an epilogue. Mostly infinite hole. Fine, it's fine it. I want to play my settings, damn it. Let's see, where to next? Or out. You've seen all there is to see.
All right. Have you seen everything you wanted to? Ready to move on now?
I have my bucket and we are leaving.
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience.
If you put the gym button in the hole, it'd be pretty good.
Okay. Are you ready? Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2.
No.
I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on. Let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2.
I kind of prefer the time you blew me up,
Who am
buddy.
I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own.
They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it.
Oh,
I can
here we go
take the
again.
original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2. Let me see if I can whip something up.
Oh no.
All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
Well, sure.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor at his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office. All of his co-workers were gone. What
What
could
could it mean?
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Is my hole gonna be here?
Stanley felt the bucket calling to him, begging him to pick it up. Why was he not doing it?
My bucket here?
Stanley picked up the bucket.
Of course I'll take my bucket with me. It's my bucket.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers. Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket. You can feel that, can't you? The aura of jealousy? It's as clear as day. This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket. I can really feel it now. It's a bucket. It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to say here. It's supposed to go with the other cleaning supplies. Good for you, Stanley. Don't give in. Don't hand over the bucket. I know how hard it must be, given the pressure that the broom closet is putting on your shoulders right now, but you have to be strong. This is your bucket. This is your companion and lifelong friend. You can't hand it over. Oh, no. We're getting into name-calling now, it seems. Is this how low the broom closet has sunk, that it has to resort to this stream of petty insults simply in order to get you to hand over the bucket? Stanley, I never liked this broom closet for a variety of reasons.
Yeah, I wonder
Even
why.
This is worse than I had imagined. And wait, now the broom closet has the gall to imply that you and the bucket are not truly deep and lasting friends.
Yeah, well, broom closet.
That your relationship is
Fuck
purely
your mother.
superficial and convenient. That your life is so banal and meaningless that you'd feel the same sort of kinship towards any inanimate object which happened to lay in your path in an even partially enticing manner. Well, I never. Go on, Stanley. Lay into it.
To be fair, that
Really
broom does
tell
look pretty
the broom
good.
closet off for its demeaning comments. Expand on the wide variety of experiences you and the bucket have shared together. Go through each of them point by point. Share your journal entries detailing the rich emotional
Okay, I've had enough
landscape
of
your
this.
feelings for the bucket, as they have changed and have...
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Someone else can hang out in the broom closet for that long.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him always. The bucket would, and he knew it. The two of them were inseparable. At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk. Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the PIN number for the keypad was 2845. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Let's go, bucket. Let's go. Go forth.
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
Ah!
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
I still have my bucket. I will make it all the way through.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves. The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine. Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind.
I want to throw it into the hole.
He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control, never! He squeezed the bucket tighter, his one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket. But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good. Two best friends, Stanley
No, bucket,
and the
we
bucket,
mustn't.
up against
Bucket,
the
no.
world.
Bucket, no.
They high-fived in a
No.
really cool way.
We
And
mustn't.
the bucket made a sassy comment about
We
taking
mustn't,
down
Bucket.
the system.
We mustn't. We must let them go free. No! No! I want to leave! No, Bucket, you
But at
mustn't!
the last second, the bucket jumped in and pressed the button to turn on the controls. Stanley gasped in
Bucket!
horror.
How dare
Had this
you!
been the bucket's plan all along? To take over the machine and claim the power for itself?
Bucket, I've been
Bucket
betrayed!
betrayed him like this. Stanley was prepared to throw the bucket away in disgust when suddenly an image appeared upon the enormous screen. Birds. Silly, silly birds. The control buttons became active again.
You know, this is okay.
Stanley flipped through one video of silly birds after another, and then it dawned on him. This wasn't a mind control facility at all. It was a facility for monitoring and surveilling silly birds all over the world. The mind controls were only a facade to disguise its true intentions. Had the bucket known this all along? Stanley marveled at the metal genius in his hands, the one who had pointed him towards this incredible discovery. Stanley and the bucket never found freedom because they spent the rest of their lives here in this place, flipping through live streams of the silliest birds imaginable. Of all the possible paths his life could have taken, this one was surely the best. And Stanley was happy.
I can't believe that played up the darn bucket pressing the button was actually gonna be the bucket. It wasn't actually pulling me towards the button. I was literally just gonna blame the bucket for my own shenanigans when he inevitably killed me. But you know what? I'll take it. I'll take it. This one's getting long enough though, so I'm gonna leave it here for now. I'll see everyone next time. Maybe play this later. And ta-ta for now. Bye-bye!